Reynolds, you have the call.
Thank you. Australia may have ridden on the sheep's back, but it was the pursuit of minerals that has accelerated our development as a modern nation, and it is the strength of our resources sector that continues to underpin our economic growth in the 21st century. The resources sector employs over 1.1 million Australians, a sector that has paid over $37.2 billion in wages and salaries last year straight into Australian households, which is set to deliver $459 billion in export earnings over 2022-23, strengthening our budget and delivering funding for roads, for schools, for hospitals right across the country, a sector that makes up 14.5% of our gross domestic profit, that paid over 40% of the $68.6 billion in company tax and $16.7 billion in royalties to the states and territories in Australia in 2020-21, which underpinned our COVID-19 recovery, and a sector the government acknowledges is propping up the budget bottom line. A sector that was strongly supported by the Coalition, has greatly benefited all Australians, and it has the potential to remain an exciting and prosperous industry for Australia. Now, Australia is blessed with bountiful resource deposits from coal and iron ore to gas and oil and vast pockets of critical minerals and rare earths, many of which are found in our everyday lives. Critical minerals are found in our phones, our cars and banknotes. They play a crucial role in defence technology and are even found in fertilisers that help feed the nation. Coal, gas and other traditional energy commodities are vital in manufacturing and continue to underpin our electricity grid, providing secure, reliable and affordable energy for households and businesses across the country. And on a human level, the resources sector invests heavily in regional Australia. It is one of the highest paying sectors in Australia. In fact, mining jobs are among the highest paid jobs in Australia. Many of these jobs are found across regional Australia, providing a lifeline to these communities. And Australia's high-quality coal and gas will also play an important role, not only domestically, but in other countries around the world. Australia's coal is one of the highest quality in the world, and we produce it more efficiently than most, meaning more energy and less emissions. As China and India increase their demand for coal, both for steel creation and energy generation, and Japan and Korea demand more gas to fuel their transition, it is in everyone's interest that our high-quality resources are the first choice for our partners around the world. And were we to shut down our coal and gas production or refuse to step up to meet demand around the world, those countries that need our resources would have no choice but to turn to lower quality, higher emitting resources from other countries. Moral grandstanding about Australia's coal and gas resources may make some in this parliament feel better, like the Australian Greens, the Teal Greens and the Independent Greens, but shutting down our industries will have the opposite effect that they have hoped for. If Australia withdraws from exporting our high-quality coal and gas, global emissions will rise. Nearly everything that allows us to enjoy a first-world lifestyle would not exist without mining, from high-tech manufacturing to the food on our plates, from energy generation to the steel frames that hold up our home. Yet those who attack our resources sector cannot tell us where they would source those vital inputs that support our way of life. Gas plays a pivotal role in the production of fertilisers like ammonia or urea, which in turn sustains the food security of billions of people around the world. And coal is vital in many non-energy industries, including steel and cement production, as well as coal-to-chemical processes, rare earth extractions and carbon fibre production, to name just a few. 780 kilograms of metallurgical coal is required to make a single tonne of steel, and over 200 kilograms is needed to produce a tonne of cement. Whilst many in this chamber tout the end of coal, it would appear that they have forgotten that wind turbines require hundreds of tonnes of steel in the production of every turbine, as well as cement for the base. Additionally, thousands of different products have coal or coal byproducts as components, such as soap, aspirin, solvents, dyes, plastics and fibres, including rayon and nylon. This just shows how disconnected from the reality some in this parliament truly are. The Coalition has a strong record on delivering for the resources sector. On gas, our Strategic Basins Plan program was bringing on new supply by unlocking new gas potential and accelerating development in key gas basins. The Beetaloo sub-basin is one of the largest undeveloped onshore gas resources in the world and could supply Australia's electricity markets for the next 200 years. So it begs the question why the government made concessions to the Greens to hamper the development of the Beetaloo when the Northern Territory Labor government explicitly supports its development. Who is being told what and what promises were made? Bringing on more gas supply and investing in pipelines, storages and infrastructure has remained a key issue the ACCC has raised to secure our future domestic demand. But the latest report by the energy market operator, AEMO, confirms fears that we are being driven headlong into a gas and energy crisis. Despite the strength of the resources sector, poor legislation, coupled with interventionist policies, are creating an uncertain investment environment. In a world where capital can be fluid and investment decisions are global, a stable and attractive regulatory environment is vital to keeping a future pipeline of development. Direct market intervention is driving Australia's resource investment landscape towards a dangerous setting, whereby companies and international investors are faced with increasingly difficult decisions regarding their future investments in Australia. Despite Australia's stringent environmental approvals processes and regulatory checks and balances, the funding of the Environmental Defenders Office, the creation of a Commonwealth Environmental Protection Agency and unachievable consultation requirements and review processes are causing more harm to our investment environment. With newly legislated emissions targets, the risk of environmental activists and bad faith actors purposely tying up projects in the courts on vexatious grounds until they fall over will increase, as we've seen in other jurisdictions around the world. At a time when the pain of skills shortage has been felt across all industries, irresponsible industrial relations legislation puts the benefits that Australian workers reap from this sector at risk, despite the high wages and good working conditions they receive in the resources sector. And with worsening economic forecasts, the risk of tax grabs to plug holes in budgets is ever present. In Queensland, the state government made a sudden tax grab last year by introducing a top royalty rate for coal of 40%, making it the highest taxing mining jurisdiction in the world. In one fell swoop, the Queensland government put doubt in the minds of investors, including some of our closest international allies. Australia should not make the mistake of assuming that because this sector has always been there to support us, they will continue to be there, no matter the burdens that are heaped upon them. This industry matters to every single person in Australia. The government plays a key role in sending signals to business, society, schools and the media, both positive and negative, about the importance of mining in all of our lives. So it is disappointing to see the very week we stand here talking about the importance of the mining sector. A new carbon tax that will hurt the sector is being rammed through the Senate with the help of the Greens. What signal does that send? The Coalition will always back the resources sector. The jobs they create, the wealth they generate, the building blocks for a modern society that they provide, the communities they strengthen, the environmental work that they support. The Coalition understands mining is part of the national fabric and it is crucial to Australia's future, both now and into the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator McDonald. Is this on the same item, Senator Cox?